So here we are, day 3 with the van. So today I was planning on picking up some of the lumber and the insulation. Couldn't get into my work car, so I'm going hiking in the morning. And so I'll take the van with me. Hopefully, I still have the dash all ripped apart. I just have to take apart the electric brakes off that so I can actually drive. And I'm gonna drive. Hopefully, we're getting snow flurries right now, so hopefully it warms up a little bit and I don't need defrost because I don't have it. And then I'll go pick up the insulation and all the wood to get started with insulating the floor and lay the floor. Actually, I want to lay the floor too, so I gotta figure that out tonight, what I'm gonna go with. Right now I'm thinking 1/2 inch. The way to go on the walls is 2 pieces of 1 inch insulation. So that'd give me, I guess you double the R value, so that would give me a value of R10, opposed to putting in 1.5 inches and having some space, which would be 7.5. And that's a guess. I don't know for a fact that doubles. So the walls would have 2 inches of insulation in it. The floor, I'm thinking, is going to have at least 1 inch, depending on what I get for boards to frame out the floor. And then the roof, the ceiling, I'm going to keep as high as possible. But I do need it big enough to put my lights in, which doesn't take up much space. So I'm thinking 1 inch in the ceiling, which will give me, of R value of 5 in the roof. That's the plan right now until I hit Home Depot. That could change once I get to Home Depot. So anyways, let's get those lights tucked away. And the other thing I think I'm going to do is pull these plastic black things off the doors, because those are definitely not staying. There's going to be some type of wood or something. And one of the other things, I know this is more of my list of things I need to do, is shutting these doors is horrible. I've been grabbing it by here in the window, so I'm definitely going to put some handles on there to shut these doors. I guess these van doors were not made to be shut from the inside. Same thing with the back one too. I mean, I guess maybe you're supposed to pull it like that. No, because they don't shut. Because you're holding the thing open. So that's another thing I got to come up with, is some type of handle for all 4 doors though, because closing this one, you're grabbing it here, and I'm not going to probably be able to do that when I'm done. So I definitely got to come up with some type of handle. And I'm getting hit in the head by a light here. Okay, let's see what we can get done. I'm not going to get done sitting here talking about it. Well, that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But got the door, got it all off. I was hoping to be able to use this as storage too, to cut in here. I've seen people make shelves, but these doors aren't very deep, so probably just cover them up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Oh, this door, yeah, I could probably make a shelf here. This is deep enough to get something small. Not so much for that one down there. But then I am going to insulate these too, so I'll lose a little bit. The back one, same thing. Probably could make a little shelf in there. Again, going to lose 1 inch or so. That is probably as much as I can get done for today, until I pick up some supplies. I'm at that point. One of the things that I'm having a thought process on is, this is cheesy as heck. I was kind of thinking, and this is just a thought process right now, taking that out and running my boards all the way up. But I mean, look at this. There's some connectors. How that even opens. And then of course this, it goes to the dome light right there. And I could put a dome light on a switch. I bought 8 of the LED round puck lights, so I could put the same light up there, have the same roof, I just don't know what's up by the windshield. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. Again, probably think about that, and because I mean right now this isn't going to be insulated up here. I guess none of the cab is technically that, so maybe I should make a curtain that hangs down for at night when it's cold. All new to me. I'm just figuring this out as I go. But it is cold out right now. Jeez, my hands are frozen. So anyways, I'm gonna call this a wrap. Put this one in with the next video because this was real short, and I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow afternoon. Short hike in the morning. I'm just gonna go out with Jen. We're gonna do this fire tower, Red Hill Fire Tower, which the drive's probably longer than the hike for us. I think it's like maybe if we stretch it 5 miles, which is nothing for the two of us. So anyways, that's the plan, and off to Home Depot, get some supplies. Here we are, post-hike in the van and ready to go to Home Depot and spend some money. So I want to at least try to get the floor in today. That's my goal. That is my goal. I got to dig my tools out because anybody that might follow this channel knows that I sold my house about 7 months ago. I moved in with some family and planned on going full bore on the van life. Then situation changed where now I decided to get a smaller van and be more part-time. And my tools are all packed up. They were in a storage unit, and I got sick of paying for the storage unit. They had room in the basement here, so all my tools are packed up in the basement, so I have to dig all that out. Some of it's out because we use some here, and we're doing some other project, but most of it's packed up, and I gotta find it. So that's my goal, get the floor done. We'll see. But off to Home Depot in New Hampshire because it saves me money. And literally, New Hampshire's like right behind me. So it's probably cheaper. It is cheaper because of sales tax, but it's probably quicker to go to, I say Home Depot, but it's probably going to be the Lowe's. I think this is the Lowe's I'm going to go to New Hampshire, to go to Rochester, than it is to go to Biddeford. Or Windham. Windham's an hour. Biddeford's 50 minutes, and Rochester's like half an hour. So definitely probably better to go to Rochester and save that 5.5% on taxes, which do add up, believe it or not. So sorry, Maine. You'd think you'd smarten up, but nope. Anyways, we're off. Woohoo! This isn't the maiden voyage, but it's pretty close. Just drove it home from the dealership. The first time I'm peeking it on the road for my use. Whoa, there's nuts and bolts going everywhere. Dash is all apart. Seatbelt beeping at me. Turn left onto Sanborn Road. Hey, we're going left. So there it is, Lowe's, Rochester, New Hampshire. Well, that was unproductive. Off to the Home Depot, which is about 5 minutes away. They don't have the power tools I'm looking for here. The foam board that they carry here, they only had it in 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 2 inch. And then some weird stuff that was very expensive in inch. So hopefully Home Depot has the stuff I priced out because I have the R values written down. And actually I think I did find it on Home Depot's website, but I didn't know there was a Home Depot in Rochester. But there is, like a mile, it says 1.5 miles, 1.9 miles down the road at 5 minutes. So that's where we're heading now. Lesson learned about coming here.
Parking lot for your destination.
Not only is a Home Depot here, it's got the best restaurant in the world, Taco Bell. Hannaford. Okay, let's try this again. Well, I hope I got everything on my list. $619 for the first trip to Home Depot. couldn't find any. I wanted to grab some wire. I ordered some, but I was going to grab some for today so I could maybe run some wires later, but they didn't have anything I needed. So I ended up getting, I think, enough insulation to do the ceiling, the walls, the floor. Plywood was what's crazy. It was $67.80 a sheet. I needed 3 sheets because they need to go, I'm going to do them across, so 3 sheets down. And it was a lot of bad plywood too. I guess plywood's crazy because of COVID, which doesn't make any sense to me. Picked up a Ryobi drill, a brushless 18 volt. That was $187. No, that's the wrong one. This is hard to read. Drill kit, $159. And some liquid nails, screws, spray foam, knee pads, because my knees are killing me from kneeling on this floor. So anyways, let's get home and get started. Okay, so I went in the house to get battery charged my GoPro. Ended up grabbing some couscous hot sauce and some nutritional yeast to fuel the body. I just don't want to do this project. Okay, change number, I'm losing count, maybe 3. So I've decided I'm gonna go across all the way down every 2 feet. So I'll have 2 feet of insulation. Of course, I'm gonna still do the strips, but I decided to do it this way to get it started by the front seats. And then that leaves that, because over here, I'm gonna have to find something plain, something down to be like, I'd say just by guessing a 1/4 inch, and then put one of these on top to build out the wheel well for the floor. So I'm gonna run them across every 2 feet with a 2-foot space in between, trying to make it easier to cut the insulation. And then when I do the across, I'll have to figure out how to make it. That's going to be tougher. I'm going to probably have to deal with that. But at least I know I can cut the insulation in 2-foot strips and be good. So that is the plan right now. Stay tuned for possible change. So, of course, I changed it a little bit. I just staggered it, and because I felt like this is going to get high traffic, this area right here, and I didn't want to double up over there because I was going to lose insulation. So I'm going to go down. I have 2 table saws down in the basement, and I'm going to go down there and I'm going to rip one of these into closest guess of what geez, that music, I can hear music. The closest guess to what those are. I think they're about 1/4 inch, so I'm gonna, which is gonna be tough, but I'm gonna try to rip 2-foot sections on the edges there where they're not laying on the, I don't even know what those are called, the inclines, the ridge. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so. So now I got the floor all lined out. I just need some to glue it down. But these things I gotta go, so I am trying to get as much out so I can do a dump run. So I'm gonna pull this one out and the same on the other side. everybody. So I didn't get as much as I wanted to get done yesterday. Didn't have enough weights to weigh down all the wood. So I'm back at it. As far as using liquid nails, it seems to be working, but some of the pieces that go across that only are glued on the high points, I can kind of pull up. So I'm gonna stuff some glue underneath on the low points too. And the screws I bought were a bit long. I was gonna go buy new screws. So when I put the plywood in, I think I'm gonna use the 1.5 inch screws I have, and then they'll go into the metal just a little bit, even though I didn't really want to do that. I'm just afraid that these isn't gonna stay stuck. Maybe after it sets for a while, it will. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll make the determination when I lay the floor. I want to lay the plywood tomorrow. But I wanted to insulate today, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm supposed to be doing trail maintenance with the trail rights today, so I want to get some of this down so it'll sit while I'm off doing maintenance for the next 7 hours. If I make it. It's not looking good. But anyways, let's get some more of this floor down. So, this is now like day 3, Home Depot run number 2. Used up my last grinder wheel, so I need grinder wheels, new tape measure because both my tape measures are broken. What else have we been going for? Some more screws because the screws I got were too long, so they won't go into the metal. So when you try to screw the plywood in, it will push up on, rip the adhesive out. And what else? More liquid nails, because I totally underestimated the amount of liquid nails I need. Anyways, back to the liquid nails, plywood insulation thing. So I posted on Instagram, just a picture, said, what, I can't even remember what I said, and slow going. And people, now when I do Instagram, it automatically posts to my Facebook. That's still probably the only reason I ever post on Facebook. And so everybody's telling me that I should have laid the insulation directly on the floor and then the plywood on top of the insulation. And then I said, well, then you'd have to screw the plywood down to the floor, which I'm trying to avoid. And then they came back and said that you could do a floating floor. And they said, aren't you screwing the strapping into the floor? And I said, no, I'm using adhesive. And they said, well, you could have put adhesive down for the insulation and then adhesive the plywood to the insulation, blah, blah, blah. So you see where I'm going with this. Now, every video I watched on YouTube, whether it be a professional, an amateur, seems to run the strapping. Some screw it in, some don't. I chose not to screw it in because I have no idea what's under that floor. Brake lines, wires. I mean, I guess you could look at every one, but I was really nervous about putting a hole just going through the floor. I could be for no reason. If you know better, please post below and your thoughts on this, because this is something, like I said, every video I watch, people run strappings or 2x4s. They actually do, when I say strapping, some type of wood. I'm doing strapping because of the height, but if I had plenty of sealant, I probably would have done definitely like maybe 1x2s or 1x3. I don't know, the one that's small, the 2x4. I think a 1x3s, 1x2s. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a woodworker. I fix circuit boards and motors and stuff and kiosks. So what do I know about wood and vans? So anyways, post below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I am going to buy some self-tapping screws and probably put 2 screws in each one of the cross beams at least, because it's taken forever for this liquid nails to set. And I pulled one up this morning and the liquid nails were still wet. It's been sitting there since yesterday. So I'm definitely gonna put something down so I can stop trying to weigh everything down. I don't have enough weights. And then I can get, everything secure. Because if you step on it when you put the liquid nails on it, it slides. It's almost like lubrication when it's really wet. So I want to get that floor insulated, and I want to cut the plywood out and get that plywood in tonight. I want this floor done today. I was supposed to go do trail maintenance. I feel really guilty not going, but I go back to work. This is my last day of my weekend, and I want this sucker done for next week. Well, not done, but I want the floor done so I can go sleep in it maybe on the floor for next weekend. Planning on doing some trail maintenance next weekend with a friend, which I got the day off from work. I'm actually getting paid for this. My company gives me 8 hours of volunteer time every year, but has to be used on a work day, which Sunday's a work day for me, so I got next Sunday off. I'm out doing trail work with BK. We're going on a bike ride in the White Mountains on Saturday, so I gotta be able to bring my van so I can throw my bike in when we're out camping on the trail in the van, so nobody steals it for Saturday night, and I might stay out Friday night. So gotta get it done, gotta. So anyways, off to Home Depot, trip number 2. I'm going straight to Home Depot, no Lowe's this time. Well, floor is on its way to being done. Well, it's insulated. I got one more little spot to do. I got to cut a piece of wood for right here, and then maybe put some spray foam in there. But spray foamed around the edges, the funky spots. You gotta let that dry and then cut it out, and the floor will be insulated, at least the back. This isn't, I mean, it's going to be insulated with their insulation. Eventually, I might pull the seats out and grab some Thinsulate, because I think you can set that right on top. Actually, that, I don't know how much of a better job I'll do, but we'll try, see. Look into it anyways, but for right now, that's going to be the cab. Worst case, I can hang an insulated curtain. I was gonna get some swivels for these seats, but they're like, I heard they're like $600. I haven't found one yet, and I don't know if they'd be able to swivel. They're so tight. So might just do a curtain. I don't want a partition. I really don't. I don't know why, but I just don't want it. I have no reason. Just that I don't. But here we go. Let this sit, go get a snack, and come back in, well, a couple hours, I guess. Go play the PlayStation, go play some Call of Duty for a while. So the plan is use the old existing floor to cut the new floor. So I'm going to trace it. I think I'm going to leave the back one uncut because it's just a small piece in the back, and I may want to make that bigger because of the way that I did the back of my van, or I may want to make it smaller. So I'm going to trace it out but not cut that right now. I'm just going to cut the first 2 pieces and get those in on the floor. So let's see how this works out. Cutting the floor out, part 2. Went to Home Depot and got a new jigsaw. I don't know what's going on with jigsaws and plywood, but I found they had 2 different plug-in ones. Both were close to $200. And then on my way out with the Milwaukee one or whatever it was, I saw this, which I have the drill that takes the same batteries. So I have 2 18-volt batteries. So I went with cordless. Let's see how it works. I'm not that familiar with cordless power equipment as other than drills. So hopefully it works out okay, because I saved money actually, but it still was over $100, like $130 or something. So let's check it out. Well, as you can see, you can use that mat as a guide, but definitely not a full out thing. I've got some extra space around here, but I think I'm gonna cut this straight across, and then that will slide over because I've got extra room over on this side. So let's give it a whirl, see what happens. See, my whole not putting any screws in the floor didn't work out so well. The wood screws at Home Depot assured me would screw into wood and metal. It does not. I said to the guy, I don't think those work in wood, and he's like, oh sure they do, they're made for everything. They won't screw into the wood because trying to find a 3/4 inch screw was almost impossible. They told me that's not a common size. I didn't know that. I've never heard that. I could have sworn we used to buy 3/4 sheetrock screws all the time. Guy told me I didn't know what I was talking about. But anyway, so I broke my last drill bit. So off to Home Depot to get some drill bits, because I have to drill through the metal to get the screw in. And also a little update. I don't remember the name of it. People called it, it starts with a P, but there's an insulation you can actually buy that you just cut and lay down on the floor, and then put the plywood right on top of it, and either screw it in or just leave it floating. I talked to a guy that's done 5 van builds, and his last 3 were done like that, and he said it worked out great. He was warm. He actually felt it would work better because you don't have the wood in the floor, the supports. So that's how I'll be doing it next time. And also my trick of tracing, I thought it was so smart, tracing the rug didn't work out at all. I don't know what that rug was lined up with, or if it stretched or shrunk or what happened, but it definitely wasn't even close. I mean, I guess kind of close if you figure a 1/2 inch is close. So I've got some little gaps here and there, but nothing that isn't going to be covered up with my actually finished floor. I'm pretty happy how it's come out so far. I got one more piece to cut and lay in the back at the end there. Well, there we go. Insulated floor, rough floors laid. Gonna go to Home Depot and get the screws, but I wanted to finish getting all the plywood in because it's starting to rain out. And I threw down some insulation, which, I don't think you're really supposed to use this, because I know that some people won't give you a sticker for it, but we'll tell them it's the flame retardant one if they see it, but I don't think they'll see it by the time I'm done. So, and everybody does it. I used to do it in cars that I wasn't turning into camper vans. Oh shoot, getting on the wires. Not good. And I still gotta run that. I drilled a hole up there, but I think I'm gonna cut it out with a grinder and then put this in conduit, which I have coming this week. I ordered some online, and then run it along and get in the back. Well, just went down to the mailbox and my controller came. So I'm gonna try to get this in tonight. Mailman usually comes around 3 and it's almost 6 o'clock. So he obviously put us off to last and then hung it on the mailbox. So usually brings it down to the house. Found it down hanging off the mailbox in a Hannaford bag. So anyways, let's get this thing in. Oh, listen to that. She works. Oh, sun's brutal, but it's back together. I debated leaving the dash apart because I'd like to replace this radio eventually, but not right now. It's gonna be a later on thing. So, well, here we are. I don't know what day it is anymore. It now is, let's see, it's Tuesday, and working on the bed. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, yesterday I did the dash. The day before I did, so on Sunday I did the floor, and today I'm working on a bed frame. I did not include all the footage, obviously, of me figuring this out, because I have been at this for 3 hours, and that's as far as I've gotten. and it's because I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it. Trying to make it so I can sit on the bed but not hit my head on the ceiling. And I'm only guessing on my mattress size. Now, mattress is obviously going to compress a little bit. So I'm thinking I can order the mattress in basically any size. I'm thinking a 3-inch firmer one, maybe 4. I got to figure out when I get this all done. I'm going to measure it out and try to see what I can get away with. I kind of went back and forth whether to do the garage split it with, but I think I've come out with a way to make this bed as low as possible, but yet cover the wheel wells, box in the wheel wells so I can insulate them, and then also have access completely through both sides, and then I can block it off, partition it off later if I choose to. So I'll show you what I'm kind of doing here in a second. It's still kind of up in here, so I don't have it in words yet. So anyways, let's see how this turns out. And I'm running low on screws, so that's just at Lowe's. I'm going to be hitting Home Depot tomorrow for screws, unless I can find some in the garage, which that's where I found these ones. So let's see. Okay, so we're back in the van. It's raining out. It is a new day. It's actually 2 days later. I did a little work on the bed yesterday and didn't film it. So I've got the frame all done out. Now I designed this a little weird because I wanted to be able to adjust the size of the bed. So basically I built the boxes over the wheel wells, and then a frame. Now, is this frame heavy duty for this? Maybe. I wanted it to be able to sleep 2 people. I weigh 200 pounds. I watched a video the other day that the girl just boxed out the wheel wells and then put metal brackets and ran, I think, 2x3s across, like this way, and the whole length of her van, and she had a big van. And it's working for her. Now, I don't know if she's sleeping in that by herself. I don't know what she weighs. She's thin, works out all the time. So I wanted something that I knew wasn't going to collapse underneath me, especially if I had 2 people. Now, like I said, I designed this so I could adjust it to depending on what size mattress I had. So, looking at my notes, a twin is 38 inches. So a twin would be a little short. I am going to have a custom mattress made, so I could make it to 40 inches. But there's nothing I could do about that because I wanted to box in the wheel wells. So I'm probably not going with a twin. That's about this size. Well, it is this size. What did I say? A twin would be 38 by 74. So it would be a little short. It'd be 1.5 inches short, but that'd be fine. Then if you went full size, which I plan on doing, a full size is 53 inches. So I can adjust this, which I can't do with one hand. Put it all the way out. So the biggest I could technically do with this idea is 50. I'm 53 1/4. So definitely would fit that in there. I have some spruce strapping. The same strapping I laid on the floor, I'm going to cut, and it's going to go across. Now, I'm hoping I don't have to put anything in here. If I do, if I feel like it's flimsy, I'll run something across. Just because it will go this way, so I'd have to run this way, which is easy enough. I'll just mount something there and run one more here. I may do that just anyways. I've got the wood, so I may just run one across, and that way I know there won't be any play. I'll get airflow on the mattress, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll cut the strapping right now and go from there. So here we are, Home Depot run. guess what? Yes, it's raining. Oh, it's just relentless lately. What is that saying? April showers bring May flowers. Oh, we should have plenty of flowers. So today on the agenda, strapping to finish the bed back there. Well, there we go. Bed frame is in place. Got some new screws that actually didn't crack the wood. These ones were already cracked a little bit from the screws yesterday, but these are the brand new ones I just cut today. Not a crack in them. And I did have to put a support. As you can see, I stained the floor. Here we go. Trip number 1 with a partially finished. Whoa, I should stay in my lane. Partially finished